Dengan izin Yang Arif, berikutan daripada pelaksanaan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan di bawah Pelan Pemulihan Negara Fasa 1 dan dengan persetujuan kesemua pihak, prosiding petisyen penerimaan masuk Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya pada hari ini dijalankan secara sidang video. Hakim yang bersidang pada hari ini adalah Yang Arif Tuan Mohamed Zaini bin Mazlan. Dengan izin Yang Arif, petisyen penerimaan masuk Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, nombor petisyen WA 1841103/2020, Pempetisyen Irene Mah Yong Lee.
Dengan izin Arif, saya Vincent Lim Seng Liang. Saya adalah peguam pengusul yang mewakili pempetisyen pertama, Cik Irene Mah Yong Lee pada hari ini. Dan rakan-rakan bijaksana saya dari Jabatan Peguam Negara, Bar Council dan Selangor Bar Komiti.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Aisyah Falina Abdullah, Peguam Kanan Persekutuan hadir bagi pihak Jabatan Peguam Negara.
Ya, dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Li Bu Imen bagi pihak Majlis Peguam.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, Raj Suren Pilih mewakili Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Negeri-Negeri.
Terima kasih.
Dengan izin Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon kebenaran untuk menyampaikan ucapan berkenaan pempetisyen dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Ya, teruskan.
Ya Arif, may I introduce the petitioner, Ms. Irene Mah Yong Lee. The petitioner was born on 23rd June 1994 in Bukit Mertajam, Penang, and is the middle child of Mr. Ma Kim Sin and Madam Ong Li Lian. The petitioner had her early education in SJKC Kim Sen before continuing her secondary education in SMK Jalan Damai and High School Bukit Mertajam. The petitioner was motivated to become a lawyer at the age of 16, mainly with the aspiration to protect and provide legal representation to the vulnerable groups in the society. The petitioner read law under the University of London External Programme, graduating with second-class honours in August 2017. She then proceeded to the dreaded certificate in legal practice, which she completed in 2019. She then had the honour of doing her pupillage under the tutelage of my learned friend, Mr. Andrew Ng Kwang Yan of Messrs. Ismail and Yim. Today, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her family, especially to her parents, for their unwavering support and encouragement. Without the sacrifices of her parents, the petitioner would have never had the chance of realizing her dreams. To her siblings, the petitioner would like to thank them for being her supporters and confidant throughout the years. The petitioner would also like to record her utmost appreciation to her pupil master, Mr. Andrew Ng Kwang Yen, for providing her with the opportunities, guidance, and invaluable advice throughout her pupillage. No words can express how thankful the petitioner to her pupil master and her colleagues for making her pupillage a memorable one. The petitioner would also like to thank all her tutors, friends, and lawyers that she has met, who has helped the petitioner directly and or indirectly throughout the course of this journey. Lastly, the petitioner wishes to extend her appreciation. Well, she can thank me later, my lord. I'll just skip that part, my lord. Arif, I believe that the petitioner is a fit and proper person to be admitted and enrolled as an advocate and solicitor of this honourable court. I believe all the petitioner's papers are in order and that my learned friends from the Aegis Chambers, the Bar Council and the Selangor Bar Committee respectively has no objection to this motion. Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon Mahkamah yang mulia ini agar pempetisyen Irene Mah Yong Lee diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Ada bantahan Yang Arif?
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Baik, terima kasih. Dengan kuasa yang diberikan kepada saya, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Irene Ma Yong Le sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya, dan juga memerintahkan nama Cik Irene Ma Yong Le dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih Arif. Saya memohon kebenaran Yang Arif agar Pempetisyen menjubah secara kediri.
Silakan Cik Ma.
Seterusnya, nombor petisyen WA18-691-06-2020, Pempetisyen Firzana binti Radwan atau Rezwan.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Robin Choi sebagai Peguam Pengusul bagi pihak Pempetisyen bernama Firzana binti Radwan pada pagi ini.
It's a pleasure to have you, Ms. Robin Choi.
Yes, thank you, my lord. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili Yang Berhormat Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia, Jawatankuasa Peguam Selangor dan Jawatankuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur adalah seperti yang telah dikenalkan sebentar tadi. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya dengan rendah diri memohon agar kebenaran diberikan dari Mahkamah Yang Mulia ini supaya ucapan boleh diteruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Yes, please.
Please, my lord, allow me to introduce the petitioner, Ms. Firzana Rizwan. I have known Ms. Firzana since she was in her university days. She was the founder of a NGO, which was led by youth and children on the cause of helping children and empowering them in respect of child abuse. And I have found Ms. Firzana to be someone who is passionate not just in respect of the laws to protect the voiceless in her organization, which are the children, but I found her also passionate in her interest in the laws of this country, and as such, she was doing her law degree at the University of Islam. Your petitioner is 25 years old this year, born in 1996 in Kuala Lumpur in the town of Selayang. She's the daughter of Wan Zelda Hassan, whom I also have had the privilege and pleasure of meeting during the course of activism, because her mother was a real supporter of the daughter in all the events that we've had held. Your petitioner, as I've mentioned earlier, is a law graduate from the International Islamic University of Malaysia. And she's currently also pursuing her diploma in Sharia and practice at UiTM Mara. She has completed her pupillage, Yang Arif, at Mrs. Anton and Chen under the tutelage of my learned friend, Mr. Alex Neto, her pupil master. On this memorable day for the petitioner, she would take this opportunity to express her gratitude and her appreciation for the persons and figures who have led her to this milestone today. First and foremost, to her beloved mother, as I've mentioned, Cik Zelda Hassan. The petitioner says she would never forget the day that her mother had to be both mother and father in 2003. She credits her mother as having paved two beautiful lives for the petitioner and her brother, remembering the days from having her mother sitting them down for doing homework to enjoying swimming every Sunday and gym Rama classes every Saturday, celebrating every birthday, year in, year out, and every important event in the petitioner's life. As mentioned in her speech, her mother, Cik Zelda Hassan, has never failed, not even once, to ensure that her children live healthy, happy, comfortable lives. I will bear witness, Yang Arif, that the petitioner who dedicates her admission to the bar to this ferocious, passionate mother has done correctly. She pursued her future with a career in law because her mother encouraged her, her mother guided her, and as she says it too, a mother knows it all. Your petitioner has also thanked her mother for someone who helped her be a role model in crushing the stereotypes against widows and single working mothers and showing how a harsh world can never crush a powerful woman's spirit. The petitioner would also like to thank another member of her family, her brother, who has been her confidant throughout her life, whom she called her big brother bear, and take Esmir Rizwan. The important family members she is also thanking, including her father for all the lessons taught to the petitioner, and her beloved uncles and aunties, especially Papi Rose, Mami Su, Pak Nga, for becoming her mother's support during the difficult years. The petitioner would, at this moment, would like to also convey her sincerest appreciation for her pupil master, Mr. Alex Neto, for the guidance and experience given and all the opportunities given to the petitioner during her chambering days. Mr. Neto has given all he could as a pupil master to the petitioner to ensure that she had a meaningful pupillage even during the pandemic. The petitioner never felt unacknowledged as a pupil by Mr. Neto, who had always given the younger ones in the legal team in the firm space to learn and be independent and grow. She would like to thank Mr. Neto for entrusting her with all the files and given her the opportunity to work on the cases that she had an interest in. She would always remember the nuggets of wisdom that was given and displayed by Mr. Neto for her as she continues on with her legal practice. She would also like to thank Mr. Yen Su Sen of the same firm for having worked closely with her during her time as a pupil. Mr. Chen has also assisted the petitioner to discover many other areas of laws, and she would also at this point thank the team at the firm of Anton and Chin. She felt that she needed to also mention Mr. Heng, who was always welcoming and who never fails to give the firm a good laugh when a good laugh is needed. The petitioner would like to thank even the freelance runner in the firm, Imai, who had become a friend, for being accommodating and helpful. Indeed, Yang Arif, we know how important it is to have even a runner help us in times where we need to file and serve papers on an urgent basis. And they are a great support. It is to the petitioner's credit that at her chambering, she has learned to appreciate every member of the firm, knowing that her practice is not just as a lawyer, but as someone who works in a team. The petitioner would also like to thank her friends, whom she's made during her university days, her friend Ezra, Muria, and Faiz, who are, I believe, also in practice because they were always on speed dial for the petitioner every time she's at a dead end with her task. It is always good also to have a team outside the firm who is able to help her in her legal practice. She has mentioned that her 9 months of pupillage was made much easier and more meaningful because of the friends that she has both within and outside the firm. She would like to also thank her team. I mentioned the NGO, which helped with child abuse. The name of the NGO is Monsters Amongst Us. It is run by youth and children, and I credit the petitioner for having founded, led, and continue to serve in such an NGO until today, even with her busy practice as a chambering student. Your petitioner has definitely been an inspiration, not just to her team, but as well as to other older activists like myself, because we know that there is a young generation of lawyers and activists who are more able than we have done in our time. They will be able to carry on and forge on the rights of the minority groups. People like Farzana will be an asset to the bar and the community at large. Your petitioner at this point expresses also gratitude to certain important people who she hopes are listening to this video conference. Miss Vas, from her school days, her boarding school days, her English teacher and debate coach, the one who filled her with love and support, and I believe the one who also fueled her interest in learning, her interest in serving the community. Miss Vas, as a teacher, have not failed in instilling in Farzana the love for learning and contributing back to society with her gifts as a debater and now as a lawyer. At this point, she would like to mention that she still believes she's the student, her teacher's favorite student. I believe all of us would like to think that, even the naughtiest ones amongst us. And I believe Miss Farzana would, if not the favorite, one of the most memorable students that Miss Vas would have had during her teaching days. Next, she would like to thank the mentors, Kak Rin and Kak Net and Elena, who has helped her to produce projects when she was a student, as well as those who took them under their wings at their legal bureau when the petitioner was finding her voice in fighting for children's rights. The petitioner grew as an activist, and I will bear witness to that. And I believe that she will continue to pave the way, not just for herself and other activists, for the younger ones to follow as she continues to be a role model to them. I will skip the part where she speaks about the mover, Yang Arif. It is my pleasure, Yang Arif, to have been asked to move Cik Farzana's call this morning. As I've mentioned earlier, she will be an asset to the bar and the community to which she serves. It is my high hopes for this young lawyer, and I know she will go far in the legal profession because she has the right aptitude, she's bright and sharp, she has the right attitude, she has courage and a big heart. Finally, this long-awaited moment has arrived for her. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya percaya bahawa Pempetisyen merupakan seorang yang berkelayakan untuk diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya menurut Akta Profesyen Undang-Undang 1976. Saya percaya bahawa semua kertas-kertas kausa adalah teratur dan tidak terdapat apa-apa bantahan daripada rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang mewakili badan-badan berkenaan bagi penerimaan Pempetisyen ini.
Tiada bantahan, ya Arif?
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan, Yang Arif.
Oleh yang
Thank you,
demikian, Yang Arif, dengan rendah diri, saya memohon Yang Arif dan Mahkamah Mulia ini untuk menerima masuk Pempetisyen Farzana binti Rizwan sebagai Peguam Cara, Peguam Bela, Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Thank you, Ms. Choi, for moving the call endearingly.
Dengan izin, again Yang Arif, saya pohon kebenaran mahkamah untuk membenarkan Pempetisyen untuk menjubahkan diri sendiri.
No, I have not given the order yet. Dengan kuasa yang diberikan kepada saya, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Farzana binti Radwan alias Rizwan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Cik Farzana binti Radwan alias Rizwan dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Much obliged, Yang Arif. I'm so sorry I jumped the gun earlier.
It's fine.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, agar Pempetisyen dibenarkan untuk menjubahkan diri sendiri.
Silakan Cik Farzana.
Terima kasih, Yang Arif.
If Ms. Robin Choi speaks very highly of you, You must be something else. Well done. Next.
Terima kasih, Arif.
Seterusnya, nombor petisyen WA 1885507-2020, Pempetisyen Rebecca Yin Yun Pui.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Rebecca Yin Yun Pui, Pempetisyen ketiga.
Dengan izin Arif, saya Tan Wei Kuan Benjamin hadir bagi pihak Pempetisyen ketiga Rebecca Yin Jun Pui pada hari ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagian Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatankuasa Peguam Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur yang telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi. Dengan izin Arif, saya ingin memohon kebenaran mahkamah ini untuk berucap dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Ya, teruskan.
May it please your lordship, may I introduce the petitioner, Rebecca Yen Jun Pui. The petitioner was born in 1995 in Petaling Jaya and is the eldest child of Mr. Yen Chun Yong and Madam Chi Po Seong. The petitioner became interested in practicing law very early in her life, stemmed from her natural inclination to stand up for the people's rights. She aspires to provide legal representation or legal assistance for the underserved part of the society, who might not otherwise be able to afford the services of a lawyer. The petitioner read laws at the University of London external program, where she graduated with second-class honors in the year of 2018 and was duly conferred the Certificate of Legal Practice in 2019. Upon graduation, the petitioner read in the chambers of Mrs. Joshua and Associate and under the tutelage of Mr. Joshua Kwan. Today, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her family for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which she would not have been able to stand here proudly to be admitted to the Malaysian bar. They make sure that she gets the best education possible. No words can ever be strong enough to express her gratitude to her parents for their unconditional love and sacrifice. The petitioner would also like to thank her younger brother, Pio, for putting up with her and showering her with his love and care. The petitioner would also like to record her appreciation and deepest gratitude to her pupil master, Mr. Joshua Kwan, for giving her an opportunity to undergo her pupillage under his wings, for his willingness to impart his wisdom and experiences to her, and always being ever patient in guiding and clarifying her questions or doubts. The petitioner understands that her pupil master needs to manage 4 branches across Peninsular Malaysia. Nevertheless, he has never failed to shower the petition with care and concern throughout her pupillage. As such, the petitioner is immensely grateful and will forever remember the kind gesture of her pupil master. The petitioner will also like to thank her senior associate, Ms. Hanis Haifa, for guiding her constantly and ready to assist whenever needed, not forgetting about the rigor needed to ensure a high standard of work quality that she has always emphasized. The petitioner would also like to thank all the associates and support staff at Mrs. Joshua Associate for their willingness to share their knowledge and rendering help and support, which makes her pupillage a great one. The petitioner would also like to thank all her good friends from high school to CLP, in particular Karen Lee, Hazel Man, and Lei, Kame, Liet Bun, Xuan Yan, Xuan Ying, Hui Kang, and Joy Yi for sharing her tears and laughter since her legal venture started. Yang Arif, saya percaya bahawa segala kertas-kertas kausa Pempetisyen adalah lengkap dan teratur, dan Pempetisyen adalah seorang berkelayakan untuk diterima masuk sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan pengacara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Yang Arif, saya percaya bahawa tiada bantahan daripada Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia, dan Jawatankuasa Peguam Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur. Oleh demikian, saya dengan rendah diri mohon suatu perintah agak Pempetisyen dapat diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela pengacara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Tiada bantahan, ya Arif.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Baik, terima kasih. Dengan kuasa yang diberikan kepada saya, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Cik Rebecca Yen Jun Pui sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Cik Rebecca Yen Jun Pui dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih. Dengan izin Arif, saya mohon kebenaran Mahkamah untuk membenarkan Pempetisyen menjumpakan sendiri.
Silakan Cik Yen.
Terima kasih Arif.
Terima kasih Arif.
Seterusnya, nombor petisyen WA 18104108-2020, Pempetisyen Yap Tak Sing.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Yap Tak Sing, Pempetisyen keempat.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Cuman Wei bagi pihak Pempetisyen Yap Tak Sing pada hari ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili Yang Berbahagia Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatankuasa Peguam Selangor telah pun diperkenalkan awal tadi. Saya mohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk teruskan ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Ya, teruskan.
Thank you, my lord. Allow me to introduce the petitioner Yap Tak Sing. The petitioner was born on the 4th of January 1996 in Ipoh, Perak, and is the fourth child of Mr. Yap Kok Wah and Madam Lu Chui Ling. The petitioner completed his secondary education at SMJK Yuk Choi in Ipoh. He read law at Brickfields Asia College and subsequently at Queen's University of Belfast, where he graduated with second-class honours in the first division. The petitioner further obtained the Certificate in Legal Practice (CLP) in year 2019. He then commenced his pupillage in Messiah's Roslan Kun in August 2020 under the tutelage of Mr. Ng Kun Wee. During his pupillage, the petitioner was lucky enough to be given plenty of opportunities to explore various practice areas within the firm. On this momentous day, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express his gratitude to all the people who have been there with him throughout his journey towards this day. Firstly, the petitioner would like to convey his utmost gratitude to his parents. The petitioner thanks them for their unconditional love, support, and encouragement throughout the years. The petitioner would also like to thank his godfather, Master Kim Ling. His gratitude to his godfather is beyond mere expression of words. Without their endless love, prayers, and support throughout this journey, the petitioner would not have been able to come this far. The petitioner would also like to thank his brothers and sisters, namely Tak Ming, Tak Jun, and Man Ting, for their unwavering support and companionship over the years. I believe that the petitioner's family who are watching these proceedings live on YouTube are proud of his achievement today. The petitioner would like to express his heartfelt appreciation to his pupil master, Mr. Ng Kun Wee, and another partner in the firm, Mr. Roslan, alias Malcolm Murphy, for their untiring guidance and invaluable advice given to him throughout the 9 months of pupillage. The petitioner sincerely hopes to live up to his pupil master's confidence that he will flourish in legal practice. The petitioner would also like to thank his colleagues at Messiah's Roslan Kun, Honjet, Yongchen, and Wani, with whom he has had the pleasure of working with at Messiah's Roslan Kun, for standing beside him whenever he faced issues at work and for bringing joy and adding colour to his life. Not forgetting his chambers mates and the support staff, Jayi, Bela, and Mulis, who have assisted him in many ways throughout his privilege. Last but not least, the petitioner would like to record his sincere appreciation to all his beloved friends who have provided support, laughter, and friendship to him throughout his journey. In particular, Vincent Mark, Yi Kiat, Joshua Cheong, Joe, Kimberly Chen, Yestin Yap, Shi Hong, Ming Hao, Wong, Valence, Hui Jun, and Kitan. Ya Arif, saya sesungguhnya percaya bahawa Pempetisyen adalah seorang yang berkelayakan untuk didaftarai sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Saya juga percaya bahawa semua surat cara adalah teratur dan tiada bantahan daripada badan-badan berkenaan.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Baik, dengan kuasa yang diberikan kepada saya, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Encik Yap Tat Seng sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Encik Yap Tat Seng dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Saya pohon kebenaran mahkamah untuk Pempetisyen menjubahkan dirinya sendiri.
Silakan Encik Yap.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih.
Seterusnya, nombor petisyen WA 181065-08-2020, Pempetisyen Chin Yen Yi.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Chin Yen Yi, Pempetisyen kelima.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, sekali lagi saya Benjamin Tan, hadir bagi pihak Pempetisyen kelima, Chin Yen Yi. Bersama saya adalah rakan-rakan bijaksana saya yang masing-masing mewakili yang berbahagia, Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jawatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur seperti yang diperkenalkan kepada Mahkamah Yang Mulia awal tadi. Dengan izin Arif, saya ingin memohon kebenaran Yang Arif untuk berucap dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Teruskan.
Yang Arif, may I introduce the petitioner, Chin Yen Yi. The petitioner was born on 14 April 1997 and is the eldest child of Mr. Chin Fu Teck and Madam Yao Yi Chu. The petitioner read law at the University of Malaya, where she graduated and is now pursuing her Master of Laws. During her time at university, the petitioner was actively involved in various extracurricular activities. The petitioner was an advocate of student autonomy, where she championed the cause when she was elected as the Vice President of University of Malaya Campus Election Committee, wholly run by students, free from the influence of any university administration and or any political influence. Upon completion of her degree, the petitioner commenced her pupillage in Mrs. Michael Chu and Partners under the tutelage of Mr. Michael Chu. Today, the petitioner wishes to take this opportunity to express her utmost gratitude to her parents, Mr. Chin Fu Teck and Madam Yao Yi Chu, as well as her sister, Miss Chin Yen Ling, for their undivided love and support. They have been the petition's anchor through all phases of her life, and she's grateful to have them journeying with her all the way. The petitioner would like to thank her pupil master, Mr. Michael Chu, an excellent master who has dedicated his time and expertise in cultivating the petitioner into a competent legal practitioner. The petitioner extends her utmost gratitude to Mr. Michael Chu, who has contributed tremendously to the preparation for the petitioner to venture into the legal profession. In addition, the petitioner extends her heartiest gratitude to Miss Melissa Chua, who has equally contributed, taught, and guided her throughout the petitioner's pupillage tenure. The petitioner would also like to thank all her teachers in her secondary school, SMK St. Mary, and her university lecturers that have guided her and taught her, especially Dr. Sujata, Puan Chung, and Dr. Zalina. The petitioner's fond appreciation also goes to her friends, Vanessa, Christine, Jaslyn, or GVIP team, and all whom the petitioner invited and took the time and effort to be present online today to witness this special occasion. The petitioner also wishes to specially thank her friends, Yuan Yi, Kaman, Bahve, and Farisha for making today possible. Yang Arif, saya percaya Pempetisyen adalah seorang berkelayakan yang patut dan wajar diterima, masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara mahkamah ini. Saya juga sesungguhnya percaya bahawa kesemua surat cara Pempetisyen adalah teratur dan rakan-rakan bijaksana. Saya yang mewakili semua badan-badan yang berkenaan tidak mempunyai sebarang bantahan. Oleh yang demikian, saya dengan rendah diri memohon suatu perintah agar Pempetisyen dapat diterima, masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Tiada bantahan ya Arif?
Tiada bantahan ya Arif?
Tiada bantahan yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Dengan kuasa yang diberikan kepada saya, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen Cik Chen Yan Yi sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Cik Chin Yan Yi dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya memohon kebenaran mahkamah untuk membenarkan Pempetisyen mencubakan sendiri.
Silakan Cik Chin.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Seterusnya, nombor petisyen WA18107508-2020, Pempetisyen Lee Ka-yuan.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, nama saya Lee Ka-yuan, Pempetisyen ke-6.
Dengan izin Yang Arif, saya Chong Yik Long hadir bagi pihak Pempetisyen Lee Ka-yuan pada hari ini. Rakan-rakan bijaksana saya masing-masing mewakili Peguam Negara Malaysia, Majlis Peguam Malaysia dan Jabatan Kuasa Peguam Kuala Lumpur telah pun diperkenalkan sebentar tadi. Seperti lazimnya Yang Arif, sebelum saya memohon supaya Pempetisyen diterima masuk sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara, benarkan saya untuk memperkenalkan latar belakang beliau serta meneruskan ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Ya, silakan.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. The petitioner is 26-year-old and was awarded a Bachelor of Law from the University of Leeds in United Kingdom in 2017. The petitioner was then admitted as a barrister at law at the Honourable Society of Middle Temple upon completion of the Barrister Professional Training Course (BPTC) in July 2019. In August 2020, the petitioner commenced his pupillage in the chambers of my learned friend, Ms. Tan Kui Neng at Mrs. Raja Elina, Siu Ang and Associates, and he completed his pupillage in the month of May 2021. On this special day, the petitioner would like to take this opportunity to express his utmost gratitude to his family. He would like to thank his parents, Mr. Lee Tek Leong and Mrs. Gan Li Lin, for their unwavering support and encouragement, without which he would not have been able to achieve any of the milestones and arrive at this stage in his life. The petitioner would also like to thank his siblings and friends for their guidance and constant support throughout the stages of his life. The petitioner would like to record his utmost appreciation for the training and instructions given by all the lawyers and staff and his master at Mrs. Raja Elina, Siu Ang and Associates. Not to mention, the petitioner also wishes to thank me for reading this speech and taking my time out for the occasion. Dan akhirnya Yang Arif, saya sesungguhnya percaya bahawa Pempetisyen merupakan seorang yang layak untuk diterima masuk dan didaftaraikan sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Dan semua kertas kuasa yang telah difailkan saya percaya adalah sempurna dan teratur. Dan saya juga percaya tidak ada apa-apa bantahan terhadap petisyen ini. Oleh itu, saya dengan hormatnya memohon agar Yang Arif membenarkan petisyen ini, menerima serta mendaftaraikan Pempetisyen sebagai seorang Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya.
Ada bantahan Yang Arif?
Ada bantahan Yang Arif?
Tiada bantahan Yang Arif.
Terima kasih. Dengan kuasa yang diberikan kepada saya, Mahkamah dengan ini membenarkan permohonan Pempetisyen dan menerima masuk Encik Lee Ka-yuan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya dan juga memerintahkan nama Encik Lee Ka-yuan dan penerimaannya didaftaraikan oleh pendaftar.
Terima kasih Yang Arif. Terus saya memohon agar pempetisyen dibenarkan untuk menhibahkan dirinya sendiri.
Silakan Cik Lee.
Terima kasih Yang Arif.
Saya kepada kesemua pempetisyen yang telah diterima masuk untuk didaftaraikan sebagai Peguam Bela dan Peguam Cara Mahkamah Tinggi Malaya. Seterusnya adalah ucapan oleh Yang Arif Hakim. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan Yang Arif.
A very good morning to everybody. I would firstly like to take this opportunity to thank Tuan Aisyah Falina binti Abdullah, representative from the Attorney General's Chambers, Ms. Lee Wui Mian, representative of the Malaysian Bar Council, and finally, Mr. Raj Suren Pillai, representative of the Kuala Lumpur Bar Committee for their presence. I would also like to extend my gratitude to all the senior counsel who have appeared for the petitioners. To the petitioners, I wish to say that you're very fortunate to have senior counsel who I'm sure are very busy people to move your call. Now, it's been a tradition of the bench for a judge presiding over a long call to say a few words of encouragement and guidance to all newly admitted members of the bar. Today is indeed a joyous day. Indeed, it is an important and auspicious occasion for all of you who have been called to the Malaysian Bar and admitted as an advocate and solicitor of the High Court of Malaya. Now, I always look forward to presiding over what we call as what we term as long calls, for it reminds me of the day that I was called to the bar quite some time back in 1995. My mover then was Encik Rosli Dalan, and my master was Mr. Lambert Rasuratnam, to whom I shall place on record I will always owe a debt of gratitude because he has been an excellent master. Now, being called to the bar is the culmination of years of hard work and dedication on your part, and not forgetting the sacrifice of your parents in supporting you not just emotionally, but financially over the years, especially for those who graduated from abroad. On that note, I would like to congratulate all the parents, and I shall name every one of them. Firstly, Mr. Ma Kim Sin and Madam Ong Lilian. Second, Encik Rizwan Zainuddin and Puan Zilda Hassan, who Encik Frizan has spoken very highly of. Third, Mr. Yan Chung Ong and Madam Chi Po Siong. Fourth, Mr. Yap Kok Wah and Madam Lu Chui Ling. Fifth, Mr. Chin Fo Tek and Madam Yao Yi Chu. And last but not least, Mr. Lee Tek Leong and Madam Gan Li Lin. I'm certain that they have sacrificed a lot to get you to where you are now. Congratulations are also in order to all the masters who had willingly and diligently shared their legal knowledge during the 9 months of pupillage to all the petitioners. And on behalf of the Malaysian judiciary, I would like to take this opportunity to also congratulate all the petitioners on your admission as advocates and solicitors of the High Court of Malaya. You have come to the final chapter in achieving your ambition. You have today joined the ranks of your brothers and sisters at law, becoming members of the Malaysian Bar. Now it is time for you to be prepared to face all the challenges of this profession. Today marks history not only for the petitioners who are admitted and enrolled as advocates and solicitors of the High Court of Malaya, but also for the Malaysian judiciary in conducting these momentous proceedings virtually. Now, this is an initiative by the Malaysian judiciary to ensure that the petitioners are able to continue their careers in the legal fraternity. This is the new norm that is to be adapted by all parties in facing the COVID-19 pandemic. The legal profession is a noble and respected profession. Since the beginning of civilized time, this profession has been given great trust in their roles and responsibilities in implementing and upholding justice. Undoubtedly, this field has obstacles and challenges, especially during this period where the whole world is battling the COVID-19 pandemic. Be that as it may, I believe it will not be a hindrance for this profession to grow dynamically, no matter what the challenges and obstacles are. In addition, this COVID-19 pandemic has also changed the lifestyle and method of communication to a new norm that needs to be practiced from now on. Most cases and work are now being conducted using the internet. Online advocacy, for instance, requires you to develop new skills. There is therefore a need for you to adapt, for you will be left behind if you fail to do so. There is no use in complaining. Many great leaders in the past has had to endure more suffering and difficulties before achieving what they were aiming for. I need to only mention some of them. Our first Prime Minister, Tunku Abdul Rahman, Nelson Mandela, and Mahatma Gandhi. As newly minted lawyers, you will need to work very hard. You should not be reluctant to work more than you should. Your perseverance and commitment in performing the given task reflects who you are. Your first 5 years in practice will be the foundation for the future. Help those who need your services earnestly. Love the profession that you've chosen. Work with full commitment and responsibility, and be honest in everything that you do. For honesty is an essential virtue. I shall quote what Lord Denning said in his book, The Road to Justice, quote, "If there is one thing more important than any other in a lawyer, it is that he should be honest. He must be honest with his client. He must be honest with his opponent. And he must be honest with the court. Above all, he must be honest with himself." End of quote. But above all that, ladies and gentlemen, above all that hard work, the best advice I can give you is this: family comes first. Never ever neglect your family, come what may. You are only truly successful if you have a family that is happy and well taken care of. No amount of work or money can overtake that. When money is your God, the devil becomes your best friend. It is my hope that young lawyers take cognizance about legal ethics, for it reflects the profession. Be mindful of your speech and behavior, and do not ever tarnish the profession. Read and understand the Act, regulations, and rules related to this profession to ensure that you know the rights and limitations in the administration of justice. I must add that the same principle applies to those who choose to be corporate and conveyancing lawyers. Try and learn from the more senior or experienced lawyers. Find time and observe how they handle their work and cases. There will come a time when you will eventually become senior members of the bar or hold lofty positions of power. Do not ever forget your roots and remain humble. The difficult thing about having power is learning not to abuse it. As young lawyers, you play an important role in maintaining high standards in shaping the future of the Malaysian bar. Observe the ethics and responsibilities in order to instill public confidence towards this honorable profession. We have very high hopes for all of you. With that, let me again congratulate each one of you, Ms. Irene Ma Yong Le, Cik Firzana binti Radwan alias Rizwan, Ms. Rebecca Yen Jun Pui, Mr. Yap Tat Singh, Ms. Chen Yen Yi, and finally Mr. Lee Ka Yuan on your admission to the bar. I wish you the very best of luck in your future endeavors. That is all. Mahkamah ditangguhkan.
Terima kasih, Arif.